Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick, and in today's video I'm going to talk to you about how you can buy a crested gecko, whether it's your first or it's your 50th. These are just some ways to go about purchasing a crested gecko. So the first one I'll talk about is you can use Morph Market. Morph Market's a really awesome place that has geckos for sale, ball pythons for sale, crested geckos, gargoyle geckos, lychees, tokays. I mean, you name it, they probably got it out there, honestly, somewhere. So, Morph Market's really good. Always be sure to check the seller's ratings, though. You will run across new sellers, but Morph Market has a pretty good, background check type deal that you kind of have to do in order to sell. I mean, it's, you got to show your license and things like that. So, it's a little bit more than just creating a fake business and getting scammed on Morph Market. They're pretty good about that. So, Morph Market, great place, tons of breeders. You can get them all across the country as long as they're, they sell on Morph Market. So you can get a gecko that's in California, you can get a gecko that's in Maine. Maine sounds pretty nice. There you have it, Morph Market, one really great place to buy a crested gecko. The next place, or not the next place, the next way to buy a crested gecko, I would say, is to find a local breeder. You can find local breeders through local reptile groups. Most places will have them. Most of the time it's your nearest major city with like reptiles at the end of it. It's usually a good way to start out. In there you can ask questions, and it is nice when you're first starting off to have someone local to you who can help you and kind of talk you through some things, and it's someone you can actually meet in person and establish a relationship with. So there's something definitely to be said about buying from local breeders and supporting smaller local breeders. I think it's really cool, and it's just a great way to kind of get yourself deeper into the hobby in your area. Third good place to get a crested gecko from would be your local pet store. So this is like a mom and pop pet store down the road from you. Now the good thing about buying from there is you'll have a constant food source, so you'll be able to buy your Pangea from them, hopefully. You'll be able to buy your crickets from them, your dubia roaches, whatever your gecko eats, wants, needs, anything, you can buy from them. So it is kind of cool to be able to walk into a local pet store and be able to buy a full, tank setup and everything and get it all set up for your gecko. So local mom and pop stores are a really cool way to go, and you're also supporting a local smaller business, which helps your little, your little local economy. So there's something cool to be said about that. So also when talking about buying crested gecko, it is important to remember, be very, very safe about who you send money to. Never send money over Facebook, never send money over Cash App. I would recommend only sending money on Venmo if you really know the person or you trust the person. I do have people who buy geckos from me who will pay me in Venmo. Venmo's totally fine if you do a in-person transaction, but I would not do it online or anything like that. Like I said, people have done it with me because I'll ask them if you prefer Venmo. And if they do, that's fine, because now you're risking on me being a good person or not, which, I'll ship you your gecko if you buy your gecko. I'm not gonna steal your money like some scammers out there will. The other thing is use PayPal. I know that there's a little bit of weird stuff going on with PayPal maybe in the future, but for right now, PayPal's good. If you pay the business fee and things like that, then you'll be able to get a refund through PayPal because they protect your money. So that's a good way to go if you want to. But if you know the breeder, you've worked with the breeder, you've met the breeder, you trust the breeder, then it's okay to send friends and family. But PayPal's a good option. I'll just be very weary of someone being like, oh no, sorry, I only take money on Facebook or Cash App or Venmo. That's a little sketchy. So just kind of keep an eye out for that. Be smart on who you send your money to. Another thing too, when buying crested geckos, buy based on what you think you want. As far as, are you looking for just like a pet only gecko, or are you looking to breed one day, or do you just really like this gecko and it happens to be breeder quality? There's things like that you should consider whenever buying your first crested gecko, because that will hinge on what price point you're going to be set at and what you can expect to pay if you're buying breeder quality versus pet only quality. But that's kind of all in the eye of the beholder. Okay guys, so that's kind of how I think you should go about buying your first crested gecko. Support local, support small stuff. I would not recommend going to chain pet stores. You don't know what you're buying, you don't really know anything about it. Sure, they may be cheaper, but that's a decision that you have to make. Personally, I would not recommend that. I just don't think that's really great overall for the hobby in general. And you're not rescuing that gecko, you are buying that gecko, so don't get the two confused, because if you buy a gecko from a big chain store that's telling them they need to produce more to keep up with demand, they're not looking at it as a rescue, so just kind of is what that is. But anyway, that's gonna wrap up this video, guys. If you did like the video, please subscribe, give it a big thumbs up. Sorry, girly. Thumbs up. Give it a big thumbs up. Thumbs up. Okay. Give it a big thumbs up, and until next time, guys, stay safe and stay positive.